Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl back again for another Deadliest Warrior live commentary. I just wrapped up the two other, it's supposed to be three each month. I just wrapped up Genghis Khan versus Hannibal episode, the Pol Pot versus Saddam Hussein episode. Check those out on the channel. It's already posted. And right now I'm going to finish off the month with Lawrence of Arabia versus Teddy Roosevelt. So please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to Talkative Carl on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon. Links are in the description. And yeah, you know, I know like in the last year, Teddy Roosevelt, because a lot of quote unquote problematic people of the time that got statues erected of them are being were at least at the time being talked about being torn down. One of which is Teddy Roosevelt with like a statue of him being carried by certain minorities. I'm sure it's like black people or Native Americans, but I think it was Native Americans. So it's like, then of course he got like the guy who did Mount crap. I'm about to say Mount Everest, not Mount Everest. The not Washington Monument. What the heck? The mountain with the faces of all the presidents. It kind of reminds me. Now I'm thinking about it, it's kind of reminds me of the Naruto and the Hidden Leaf village with all the faces of the previous Hokages, but the mountain range with the faces of former presidents carved there, and Teddy Roosevelt being one of the faces, and like the guy who he knew was erecting that as a symbol of for the greatest presidents in history, at least of the time up until the point of Teddy Roosevelt. He that creator was one of the leaders of a KKK clan, and it was yeah. I'm not sure if Teddy Roosevelt knew that or not, but it's just like I don't know. It's like problematic, but ignore all that honestly, because I doubt because I don't think Teddy Roosevelt is a racist at all. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be PC, but I think it's fair to say he wasn't racist. But he is one of the most high regarded presidents of American history, and dude got literally shot, nearly died, and he still want to continue on with a speech that he was intended to do a few minutes prior. And we literally have the term teddy bear was coined after Teddy Roosevelt because he was like a survivalist, naturalist, or naturalist, or whatever. He was like an outdoorsy man, and he was the first one to happen upon piranhas and seeing them in action with the feeding and everything like that. He was the first one who actually came upon that, and all the stuff that we know about not harming nature. Basically, I mean, at least the importance of nature. There's always been other people who regard nature very sacred and important, like the Native Americans, but he, at least he made it stamp of approval official kind of situation. He's, I'm kind of butchering it, but that's pretty much the long short of it. So, he had, some big strides that he achieved that made him kind of a very important figure in history. So I can't really, you can't really knock the man because I mean, I gotta admit it was fucking badass. The dude, how many people can easily say they went on, gave a long speech just after being shot. I mean, like, not many people can say that. But anyway, like, in Theodore Roosevelt, like, this kind of episode is like a battle of the toughest dude, and Theodore Roosevelt, like Lawrence of Arabia, walked, several miles in the Arabian desert just to prove he was tough enough to do it. Like, dude was insane. But yeah, we'll be getting right into it because, like, the battle of the toughest man. And during the height of, like, T.E. Lawrence, during his campaign to defeating the Ottoman Empire in Arabia, it was right as, like, Theodore Roosevelt was, like, still well into his, like, presidency, I think. But even still, I did not notice Theodore Roosevelt, he literally was part of, a WW2 regiment. He was like, one thing was like, in his late 50s, he was literally walking on a cane and still, like, led a charge in one of the battles in WW2. Dude was, a beast. He didn't care. We don't get that from presidents anymore. Right? It's like that type of, like, hardcoreness is like, I mean, like, a few days after, he did that, he eventually died. I'm sure, like, I think, I could be wrong, like a heart attack, I think. But, like, dude was no joke. So dude deserve his props on that one. I was like, not many people can, like, have that kind of level of balls. But yeah, let's check out the episode and get your timestamp to 0. And let me know who's your favorite president. Because honestly, it's gonna be Obama and Bill Clinton as far as like my favorite presidents ever. Because I think, like, personally, Bill Clinton was like the fun president. It was like during the '90s was when things was like, economy was good. Everything was like, just you don't have to worry about any stress. It's just like everything was smooth. Like, great movies. Movies. I say it kind of weird. I think something got caught in my throat. Great movies. TV show, music. The economy was great. I mean, none was perfect. It was like, we still had, like, issues and stuff like that. The internet was just being, like, a thing where it's not like toxic people on, like, on the other end cyberbullying you or anything like that. Things were just like, it was just like a nice little balance. So I think, like, like 1990, 1991 lead into, like, I think fair to say, like, after 9/11, I think that things were like began like a shift in certain cultural stuff. But I think fair to say we managed to get past that a bit. It wasn't until, like, well within, like, maybe 2010s when we've seen, like, another major shift in cultural tones. But it was but the '90s was like, like a nice sweet spot of a decade. But anyway, get your time step to 0, and get ready to press play when I say now. And 3, 2, 1, now. He didn't call his team like the Rough Riders. I think they like the newspapers at the time gave them that name. He just kind of ran with it. I'm going to have a lot of movies I got to go through for reviews because I want to do a review for Death of the Nile when that come out because it's the sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express, which I really want to do as well. But I'll probably have to save that for another time. And then the Uncharted movie, which I'm more curious about than excited for because the casting of I think I can let it slide. I want to say let it slide, like I'm getting control of it. But as far as like Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, it's like, okay, maybe, sure. But like Mark Wahlberg as Sully could have gotten anybody else. Oh my goodness. It's not as bad of a casting than Chris Pratt as Mario, but still. Ooh. Man, the Ottomans were like a really pieces of shit of army, just like since like damn near um Vlad the Impaler's time. Like, dang man, he was like just like a nightmare of an army. Just don't mind me. I'm sorry. I'm just now dawned on me about like Death of the Nile, and I've really been eager to check it out because I didn't see Murder on the Orient Express in the theaters, but like I saw it on TV a long time ago, and it's like, oh, I really dug this. So I want to make sure I secure my ticket. I'm going to see it like next Saturday. Man, parents, man, it's like Teddy Roosevelt. Could, you think like psychologically, it's like depending on how like you were raised, nature versus nurture. It's like you think your parents was your father's a straight up pussy, so you spend most of your life trying to prove you're the toughest dude, which he in a was, but it's like wow. But it's, wow, he literally was alive to be aware of the old West to the point of WW2. So like he was significantly old enough to like that say he was 56 when he died. He could have been a little bit older than that, but it's like he was there to witness all that. I mean, he was like at the tail end of the West, but he was like still slightly old enough to remember it. And it's like, wow, that kind of like worldly experience is like it's like uh just phenomenal. The guy on a Gatling gun kind of looks like Bradley Cooper to me in the face. Because I swear I thought that was Bradley Cooper when I first saw this air, and I was like, "Is that Bradley Cooper?" Maybe I'm getting my handsome dudes mixed up. I think like the Gatling guns is like it's a badass weapon, and it was designed by a doctor, if you can believe it, man. I have the high ground. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. I think next weekend I'll purchase my ticket to see the Uncharted movie. And I'm actually am considering doing like a once I get this other stuff, other video game walkthroughs done. I want to make sure I have time to put in to play some Uncharted. Man, that looks like fun using that doggone thing. Just cranking, it's like that cranking motion, it's like just mowing people down. It's like barely any uh fatigue to doing that. And these like old West guns up to the point of guns of today. I mean, like, well, I just want to this like the guns of the old West up until the point of like, let's say, to the point of the 70s. I think like these guns are still like feasible to still use if you are taking good care of it, but they do require like a lot of maintenance too. But they're like these like guns of like the 18th and 19th century are like still pretty dang cool to use. And something about like just seeing like Americans and British just like just side by side. It's just like I don't know why that feels like warm and fuzzy to me, because years ago we used to be like enemies. For such a long, long time ago, and just like at this point, it's like water on the bridge. We pretty much like the two of the like that. UK and like Canada is like arguably like our two biggest allies of all other nations. I don't know, funny one like somebody need a piss in the tube. I really like Teddy Roosevelt's Gatling gun, man. That just looked like so much fun to use. see, I was like, I mentioned during like my many walkthroughs of my Borderlands gameplay is that like because I bring it up Deadliest War a lot, in a few of those episodes. I mean episodes, but videos, and I mentioned about like certain things like this episode of Deadliest Warrior, how like I just love the bolt action rifles. I don't know why, but just like this, just the reload action, you just like, like, jerk that like rod and like, I don't know, it's just that motion. It's just like the mechanics of it. It's just I don't know why it is satisfying to me just to see that. It just is. It's just I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like I love the look of both of these weapons, the Krag and the SMLE. But like something about the SMLE, I think it's the design of it, like just kind of looks. Something about it is just like just dope looking. I don't know why. Maybe it just brings me back to if you ever watched like Brendan Fraser's mummy movies, kind of guns he would use. That's probably why I kind of like it. Just like the old school, you know, 19th century kind of weaponry, 20th century weaponry. That no man's land fight, man. That's it. Just looks so dope. right in that doggone chin and chest. God, slap that thing on, start shooting. All that running reminds me I need a hopefully some point next week. Uh, the weather gets a little bit nicer for me to go to the gym because yesterday was a in Chicago we got like a hell of a blizzard that just plowed right into us. I couldn't even go to didn't even feel like going out there to work. I was like, I can't. I really want to get back to when I have like normally when I have like they have me like working like almost every day except for like Thursdays and Saturdays, which is my normal days off. Usually, if I have like an extra spare day, which is on average, like a I got like a Wednesday off or a Friday off, I can usually spend that day going to the gym for that week. Like I want to run on a treadmill and get some cardio going. That always reminded me of that in the first season of Deadliest War when they talking about when the IRA versus the Taliban when they had like the AR-15 versus the uh, AK-47. You got the similar situation, like functionality versus accuracy, and it's like it's hard to say like which one would you prefer. Me personally, I would rather have a reliable thing that can get through weather terrain and you know you know and might be a drawback on the accuracy, but it's like at least I have a better chance rather than like something that might like really screw me up for a probably a slightly bigger period than it would be for the other weapon. Because accuracy is one thing, but it's like that's a moot point if it can't function on the battlefield at a certain point. Lawrence of Arabia really make me want to watch the Mummy movie again because it's like all of his stuff just reminds me of that so much. And that slash from that Jambia is no freaking joke. That thing, like the moment I saw it's like that opening as soon as that slash was being, it's like, zwip, like open up a zipper or something. It's like it's like butter, man. It's like he just left no resistance. Hakuba. Arabian Nights. Arabian Nights. I'm sorry. Just, you know, I don't know. Every time I hear that, it's just like it reminds me of Aladdin. Yeah, I gotta give the T. Lawrence on this one because they actually use an actual legit strategy. While you know Roosevelt is pretty much like a bull in a china shop. We just got lucky on that one, honestly. We got the climax. There's certain like X factors I've been forgetting to mention in the previous episodes. Is that certain X factors they usually kind of leave out, but they talk about more X factors, during this period of the climax than they showed on air. I kind of wish they kind of included these extra scenes into these episodes when they become available for everybody. I'm pretty sure, like I said, like in the previous video, the if there's like a DVD, well, if in I'm assuming the DVD of Deadliest War, they have that kind of thing with like the extra deleted scenes. seeing that they actually use the battle strategy in the reenactments. I think that's pretty dope. The Phantom Army. Certain people got PO because like, oh my god, another American beat like won in a match. It's like, come on, you gotta give it like some, you know, legitimacy with all the science involved into bringing this in. And that Gatling gun pre was just nailing all those kills. Yep. And that was Theodore Roosevelt versus Lawrence of Arabia. Yeah, man. Like these dudes were tough in their day. I was like, it's no freaking joke, but just the tougher dude won. Um, we got like at least the last three to get through in March. And Ivan the Terrible versus Hernan Cortez. Got a lot to say about that. Crazy Horse versus Pancho Villa. And the French Foreign Legion versus the Gurkhas. So look forward to that next month. But yeah, yeah. I'll see you guys. I gotta, at least probably probably get some rest in a little bit. I kind of like stream kind of late than normal, but uh, after work I gotta, I want to do a new comic book spoiler review of Luke Cage Noir. I'm gonna be in the Noir universe for a minute because once I do a review for that for Black History Month, gotta make sure I gotta get at least something for Black History Month for a comic book review. And I think Luke Cage is primed for this. And I know what you're thinking. I will do something for Black Panther, but I'm gonna do the movie for that. And I initially wanted to do something with like the Luke Cage series, but it's like I got too much stuff to do, so I'm gonna have to like make some hard choices. So I want to do like a Luke Cage Noir for a spoiler review for that. Maybe a movie review as well, but then I'll hop back on to some more well, I'm probably going to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Made some purchases of some gems and opened up some new card packs. I know normally I want to make sure you guys see them, but I finally made like a pretty decentest Zane deck, and I want to try out the rank duels finally. So I want to give that a go. So I will see you guys tomorrow evening. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace. And let me know what you think of Teddy Roosevelt and versus Lawrence of Arabia episode. I'm curious to know your thoughts on it. If you've seen it before, or if you watched it along with me, let me know what was your favorite weapon, part of the episode, what have you. And yeah, I'll